monument bears name after him.
Of the capital city.
Of the capital city.
Yes.
In one middle European country. So yeah, that would be enough of my photos. Now let's talk about me.
Yes.
Yeah, usually
Tell
always,
them some,
yeah,
please.
I'm always telling the story in the first person because it comes naturally. I'm dressed like Ban Jelačić. When we are at the museum, we interact with our audience. They come, they put up the questions. They, I don't know, have some remarks or they want to know some fun facts. I have a big advantage when I'm telling my story because everyone in Croatia is familiar with this character. So this historical person is one of the crucial politicians and historical persons in building up Croatian national identity. We of course speak about 1849, the very important year in the European history, the so-called Spring of Nations, with a great awareness and self-awareness and proclamation of the national identities back then. Italian national identity, Austrian, Hungarian, German, everything was built in this.
The French were rebelling again.
Yes, this roughed up area of the 19th century. So that was the year when I was proclaimed Ban. Ban is a title derivated from Hungarian and some older languages like Bavarian and so on, but basically he's a governor of a territory that bears sovereignty. So when one particular country or the region in Austro-Hungarian period has his Ban as a title, it means that in a way it has sovereignty with identity, cultural confirmation, linguistical acclamation, and everything that comes with it. 1849 in Austro-Hungarian Empire, Ban Josip Jelačić, he confronted Croatian tendencies against Hungarian tendencies, and Croatian and Austro-Hungarian tendencies in this way were complementary. We had something in common. We had a common inner enemy, which would be Hungarians. In that regard, I'm considered a hero, a war hero, and the crucial political personality of the Croatian national history.
And the most charming ladies' man of the 19th century.
Yeah. These are
He'll
the
tell you, he almost forgot about this.
Why I always wear a hat? Because I lost my hair. And why I lost my hair? Because I caught one type of disease. Some call it the Spanish disease. French call it Spanish disease. But the Spanish call it French disease. And the Italians call it French disease. So it's those others' disease. Back in the days, it was healed with
Poison.
no, with poison, with, oh Jesus, hemoglobin, with Jiva, mercury.
Mercury.
With liquid mercury.
Mercurial.
Okay, maybe you could cure the Spanish disease with that, but he loses his hair when being treated by mercury. That's why he was bald, even in early
And he
ages.
wears his hat on the
And then I
sculpture.
always wear my hat, and people ask me why I don't take my hat off. I said I'm embarrassed of my baldness. So that's the explanation. Yeah, he was very popular among women. He was skillful in archery, horse riding, singing. He was also kind of a poet, amateur poet, but still a poet. What else?
He spoke 5 languages.
He spoke 5 languages, not the English among them. So not 5 local languages, but he spoke Hungarian, he spoke Croatian, he spoke French, I don't know, German.
Also German. And I think Italian.
Yeah, and a bit of tiny bits of
So ladies would
everything
go
that was
crazy.
relevant for a well-educated man and the nobleman. He was a nobleman in the 19th century. What else I wanted to say? There's plenty of this. I could do this for hours.
That you are very tall in the modern version because he was shorter than I am.
He was shorter.
So he was 155, 6, something like that. So more
Like
or less
me.
up to here.
Size doesn't matter.
No.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
Still, I was fun, you know.
But they're from Spain, so they know what tiny Croats can do. I apologize who is not a fan of Real Madrid, but Luka Modric, tiny and feisty, is an example of Croats who are tiny and feisty, but never let them near anything you don't want to lose.
I was very low on my height, but very high on my spirits. That's how
Very nice.
contemporaries describe Ban Josip Jelačić. So why is his? I was speaking. That's what. Now we'll link something. When I was saying about Dove of Vučedol as a crucial object of the Croatian natural cultural heritage, it was on 20 kunas on the back side
On the
coin.
paper money.
On the greenback.
Oh, yeah.
Old greenback Croatian, not that old. We had that even 5 years ago before we enrolled euro to our economy system. The Dove of Vučedol was on the one side, on the other side was
You.
20 kunas, that's something, I don't know how to describe, like
Not even
$1,
€3
like,
today.
like 2
Not
euros.
even €3 today.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, but it's the most common note bag that circulates around.
Yes.
For 20 kunas, you could buy cigarettes, you could buy a coffee and get a change. It was like the most popular and most widespread of all banknotes in Croatia, because it's worth slightly less than 3 euros. So you can buy a lot of things with that, and it can also serve as a change. So it was very popular, and everyone knew that on the 20 kunas, on the back side is Dom of Vučedol as the most significant cultural heritage object of Croatia, and on the front side was the portrait of Ban Josip Jelačić.
So even on the money, he was always around. Always around. Among the
Always
ladies
around, yeah.
and everybody else.
Yeah, the other side of the medal, while I'm celebrated as a hero in Croatia, I'm considered to be a war criminal and anti-revolutionist in Hungary.
Yeah.
And you know, the liberate philosophers of that era, Karl Marx in particular, he thought of me as a counter-revolutionist.
Yes.
Someone who suppressed the national identities and the liberties of national identities in the Middle East. That's Marx said.
We celebrate him. Look at the statue.
My explanation, how I tried to explain that to myself, that everything what I did was not against Hungarian people, but pro-Croatian. It was in the good belief and the well-being of Croatian people, not strictly against Hungarian people. Unfortunately, there was a clash between two interests, between two economies, between two identities that found themselves on the conflict, literally on the battlefield. And I expanded the territory of Croatia. Croatia was even smaller before Ban Josip. So the northern parts of Croatia,
Make a small man,
Northern
make a
of-
big country out of it.
yeah. I even enlarged the Croatian territory. Well, yeah. What else? Yeah, I had a syphilis and I was very popular, and everybody knows for me. Long story short, this square was named after my name already during my life.
Yes, which is rare.
Already?
Which is
A
extremely rare.
lifetime? Oh.
Because this is the time of Francisco José I y Isabela de Austria. So everything had to be Sisi and Franz Joseph I. That's a very rare
And the
moment.
citizens of Zagreb named this square after my glorious name already during my life.
And you were turned in a different way. So we would be
Uh-huh.
having now the
Oh, yeah, makes
tail.
sense.
The tail of the horse would be here. That's
Yes.
why we still say in the collective memory, see you under the tail,
Yeah.
not under the spade
Yeah,
or
yeah,
the
yeah.
weapon. Because most of Croats would tell you he was facing north, Hungarians. That's why we turned him to face
Now
the
I'm
north
facing
side.
what? Egypt.
Now we're facing Croatian Dalmatian south.
What I mean?
We're facing
Greece,
Croatian
Bosnia.
Bosnia.
No.
However, the logic behind it, historians would tell you, because this was made while he was still alive and he fought for the people, where we are taking you today, this is the old two towns of Zagreb, the church town and the upper town. So clergy and commoners. And why would you, sorry, that's the part one. I have to clean up the market now. Why would you have him turn to the side of the city when in that century we have very little parts of the city? We have houses on the main street that goes to your hotel. We have some of the noble palaces in the downtown, like the palace where the museum is set, the archaeological museum. But Zagreb is bigger in its existence there to the north. So he's saluting his city, he's saluting his ancestors. He was bowing to the ancestor. Also, the cardinal was very angry to learn that the horse might be facing the back of the church. So you can imagine how happy were cardinals at that time. This is a local gossip, of course. But the historians really said he has to say hello and welcome and remind the people who live there what are we capable of. So why did we turn you around? You were gone for a while.
I was gone for a while, so during the
We cut
communist
him.
regime.
We cut
and
him into pieces.
Suppressing or building of a new identity with its